Welcome to Talk About Topeka. I'm Chris Schultz, and we're here live in the downtown studio at the Break Room. We have an incredible guy here with us. I think this guy's awesome. I've known him for years, and I'll tell you what, he's the Drunkard. Going to be on stage right here, actually, in this location, literally. He's not the Drunkard tonight. He's Phil Grecian. How are you, Phil?
I'm fine, thank you, Chris. Tonight I'm not the Drunkard.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well, glad to have you here, of course.
Glad to be here.
Now, this show is a huge piece of Topeka theater history.
It is.
It really is, and we're getting ready to celebrate. During this run here, the last 2 weekends in July, it is the 900th performance that has been done of this production.
The 900th performance will be on the 28th. And we're only doing 2 weekends this time because there were some smoke issues among other things.
But we're back.
But we're back. And so we're doing the 21st and 22nd, 28th and 29th of July, and then we're done for the year, which is unusual for us. We usually have an almost all summer run.
Mm-hmm. Now, there have been a lot of people involved with this show. With 900 performances coming up, a lot of people over the years have really been involved with this.
About 230 altogether.
Wow. Just amazing. And as a piece of history, tell us a little bit about its how it was conceived. Dale Easton, guy, anybody who has been around the theater scene in Topeka for any time knows Dale Easton.
Dale, at the time, he was the director of Topeka Civic Theater. And in 1960, everyone was doing things for the centennial. Mm-hmm. And Dale thought, well, it might be kind of fun to do an old melodrama, which we then wound up, since we do them for comedy, we call them melodrammers. But he thought, well, it'd be kind of fun to do one of those, just for a couple of weekends. And he looked at some of the old ones, and there were 2 old ones that were still quite prominent. One was 10 Nights in a Barroom, and the other was The Drunkard. And they had originally been serious temperance plays back in the 1800s. Well, he took 10 Nights in a Barroom and rewrote it slightly to eliminate some characters and make it a little faster. And then he took the title from the other one, The Drunkard. And the reason was because the 10 Nights in a Barroom had a better script. But he said, I don't have to buy as much advertising space with just a one-word title, The Drunkard. Mm-hmm. 10 Nights in a Barroom, he would have had to, double column. So, so that it opened in 1960, and people kept buying tickets, and he thought, well, we'll extend it. And they said, well, we'll extend it. And he extended it forever. I joined the show in '63. Mm-hmm. Karen Hastings, who is in charge of the show, she's the keeper of the show and the producer-director. She started in, I think, '65 or '66. And it's been going ever since. Here, it was at T-Pack for a while. We had it at Apple Valley. Mm-hmm. It was at the Restaurant Theater in Gage Center and the Fairgrounds where we started. Mm-hmm. So it's been all over the place.
And I'll tell you, it feels so great to be able to have it still on stage for its 900th performance. Yeah. And knowing Dale, I know how amazing it is. Because he was just an amazing guy.
Bless his heart, he had planned to bring it back. That's what he was doing. He had closed it for a while because he had trouble breathing and he couldn't do this on stage anymore. And he called Karen and said, I think it's time to bring The Drunkard back. And she called me and said, we're bringing The Drunkard back. And he couldn't direct it. So he said to Karen, I will give you all of my blocking notes, all of my staging, because originally, The Drunkard, if you got a script, there was nothing in it but the lines, because it was so prominent across the United States. People would come from other states and try to steal it. Mm-hmm. So there was no blocking in the script, so just in case somebody got a hold of a script. Mm-hmm. And so he said, I'll give all that to you. She said, all right. And a couple days later, he and I were on the phone, and I said, Trigger, his nickname was Trigger because he'd done a character on the radio and television called Trigger. I said, Trigger, you sound great. And he said, I feel great. And I said, good, well, we're looking forward to this. And he said, great. And I hung up, he hung up, went over to his bed, laid down, and died.
Gosh.
And Karen called me at 3 in the morning. Dale's dead. I said, no, he's not. I just talked to him. Well, she said, he never got the blocking to us. I said, we're going to have to sit down and remember the show. So I went over to her house, and we sat at her dining room table. And I had played 3 parts in it at that point over the years, and she'd played 2. And we just remembered all the blocking in business. And we would have these moments when I'd say, okay, now, I sit down here, and she'd say, oh, and then I do this. And I said, yes, you did. Oh, okay. And we'd write it all down, and then I took it home and typed it out, and that's what we're doing.
Amazing. It's an amazing story. So guests who come, they're going to see the Drunkard.
Yes.
And then we also throw in some vaudeville.
Oh, the Olio, yeah. After the Drunkard, and Dale started doing this from the very first, there's about, 30, 35 minutes worth of old vaudeville. And it's comedy bits like Who's on First, and it's songs, and characters come out of the audience, and there's been some talk of bringing back some of the people over the years who have been in the Drunkard and giving them a blackout or a crossover or something in the Olio. We'll see how that works out. If too many show up, I don't know what we're going to do. But yeah, it's lots of music and comedy and falling down and perhaps some getting up.
And you have an opportunity to see it here at the Break Room in downtown Topeka. It's the last 2 weekends in July, and you can get tickets at breakroomdowntown.com. So
what was
check
that
it out.
again?
Breakroomdowntown.com. You want?
That's a good one. Tell me one more time.
At the Break Room downtown, it's
no,
breakroomdowntown.com. There are tickets there. So
I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah, do you remember it? So tell me.
I do. It's breakroomdowntown.com.
Okay, that's where you get the tickets.
And what's that for tickets?
For tickets, it's breakroomdowntown.com.
Yeah,
okay,
good.
Yeah, all right.
Good.
How many
Who's
times
on first?
No, naturally.
He's our shortstop.
Well, thank you so much, Phil.
My pleasure.
Thank you for telling us all about this. Thank you for keeping this historic piece of theater alive with Karen Hastings, another amazing one of our theater legends here. Living legends, we'll call you, because I don't know what we're going to do without you. So you got to keep those knees around for another 20 or 30 years.
Gosh.
You got to get to 1,000 performances.
Oh no, I don't think I'm going to make it. But the tradition will continue.
We will keep it alive.
That's the deal.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you, Chris.
You betcha. And break a leg with the Drunkard in downtown Topeka.